Welcome to the October 2025 Coffee with Kehoe. I was just on a podcast this month with this famous government podcaster, Joe Tosti. And the first question he had was around Coffee with Kehoe.
Really?
How much he loved it. That it was catching the internet by storm.
Viral.
And that we might even surpass his viewers.
Really? A little
Yes, he
competition.
was a little jealous, I think.
Great.
Coffee with Kehoe. And definitely being talked about at NASCIO, our National Association of CIOs. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, yes, it's really catching on, and it's because of our great co-host, Amy Pearson.
Thank you.
Can you introduce yourself?
Yes, thank you. I'm Amy Pearson. I'm the Chief of Staff to the state CIO, this character sitting to my right, and have been involved in these podcasts for, quite a while.
And our viewership went way up after you were at So,
Thanks.
Some of the comments are, would you please talk less and have Amy talk more? So we're going to do that today.
Deal.
All right, so we have a special guest today. We want to introduce Gretchen Peri, who is our new state chief technology officer.
Woohoo!
Yes. So welcome, Gretchen.
Thank you. It's a pleasure
So
to be
great
here.
to have you. I've known Gretchen for a long time. In fact, I think the first time I met you, you were doing QA for one of my projects in King County.
That was
a very difficult project.
That was a difficult conversation.
So it's just wonderful to have you, and we're going to learn all about your background and why you chose WaTech and all
The
about
best place to work.
Yeah, but we're just very fortunate to have Gretchen, our former, not quite former CTO Nick Stowe is still with us for a while. And luckily him and Gretchen get to have some succession planning, which is always the best result, right?
Yes.
So let's start out with Gretchen. Describe your journey to state government and the CTO position, because we have talked about in past episodes when we had Kathleen Overmiller, our HR director, about, how do we recruit top talent? And what would top talent want to see in an environment like WaTech? And you're definitely top talent with all of your experience. But tell us about your journey, your background, and how you actually came to WaTech in public service.
So I started my career actually in federal service, and I worked for 3 federal departments: the Department of Justice, Homeland Security, and State. I worked for the U.S. Mission to the United Nations for a brief period, and I spent about 7 years as an immigration officer. During that time, you can imagine kind of being on the counter at INS, and people, your clients, your customers have been waiting a long time for them to get up to your counter and you to answer their questions about whether or not they're eligible for an immigration benefit or something really important that impacts their lives. And so as I got more and more kind of familiar with that job, we would check all these different systems to be able to make that determination. But the systems...
Different systems.
5 different systems.
Different green screens.
Exactly.
Yes.
And if we needed paper, we'd have to order it from Chicago to get the file there, right?
You didn't have any electronic transmission.
No.
Really?
No, none back then.
Wow.
And you could run the system one way and get a response, and then I could step away from my desk, come back 5 minutes later, run it again. I get a different response. And as an immigration officer, you want to be able to make clear and confident decisions, right? And I found it was very challenging to do that with the technology we had at the time. So what I wanted to do was dedicate my career to getting the right information to the right people at the right time.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very, very kind of common slogan. But then I moved into consulting. So I spent the first 7 years in consulting working with justice and public safety agencies across the United States and also internationally helping them integrate information across the various partners in the justice ecosystem, and also design nationwide 911 systems, work on implementing jail management systems that helped us keep our corrections officers safe, and also was able to track the outcomes that we saw in folks who were incarcerated and then went back into the community. And I became so passionate about the technology can get the right information to the right people at the right time, but it's the business, leadership, executive, training, skills development, all of that helps deliver the right outcome. And so I spent the next 15 years management consulting for state and local government agencies across the globe, in fact, helping state and local governments leverage technology to achieve their business outcomes.
Great.
That's great.
And then how did that drive you to public service with WaTech?
I found myself, and such is the nature of consulting, traveling to multiple places and always kind of spending my time, attention, and energy across a variety of different clients. And at the time, I loved that, and I developed a great, broad experience. But at this point in my career, I want to have an outsized impact and influence in a single place. And so there is no better place than Washington State, the place I call my home, the place we raise our family. And WaTech really intrigued me, partly because of your leadership over the years and having known you. And that transition to public service I knew would be easier because of that connection and relationship. And then meeting the team now, you just have such an amazing, dedicated, passionate group of people who really want to improve the lives of our residents and make our agencies better off.
So when you think about some of the projects that you worked on, whether it be public safety, what are some of the most impactful projects that you can think back and go, that really made a difference?
There are so many. How much time do you have?
Well, we are on a time frame.
Okay.
Our viewers would like us to extend our time, but we're gonna keep it short. So.
Okay. Let me highlight just a few of them then. One actually was with the state of Washington. Several years ago, in my previous firm, we worked together to procure and implement a statewide sexual assault kit tracking system for Washington. We were actually one of the first states in the country to do this. There was a lot of publicity around approximately 400,000 sexual assault kits had not been tested through our federal database CODIS that can help make those matches on the DNA. And there was a strong national push to one, track these kits, and two, test these kits. So we helped the Washington State Patrol develop all the requirements, working with survivors and working with the SANEs, the sexual assault nurse examiners, and the patrol and various partners and players that are involved in cases like that to implement a system that would provide the ability for survivors to anonymously see the status and location of their kit. And I'm so pleased to say that I think last year, Washington State actually cleared our backlog of 6,000 sexual assault kits that had never been tested.
Fantastic.
And so we are current today.
Right.
Well, and just to come full circle, so talk about 6 degrees of separation. I worked at the Department of Commerce for the Office of Crime Victims Advocacy while you were working with the State Patrol. So we funded the sexual assault organizations that worked with the victims that you described, just getting access to those kids and the status of their cases. And so it really did have an impact on our clients, our residents.
Yeah.
So you're also very active in the community, which is great. You're public service now, and you're very active in the community. What are some of those community efforts that you're most proud of?
I serve on a board called the 30 by 30 Initiative, and this is an effort to get more diversity, gender diversity in particular, into policing. So right now, we believe that the underrepresentation of women in policing actually undermines public safety in our communities. Today, Policing has approximately 12% females in officer positions and about 3% in the executive suite. And through the 30 by 30 initiative, which the U.S. Department of Justice has been a supporter of, we have signed up 450 public safety agencies across the United States, and Canada is now doing this initiative as well, that have signed a pledge to get to 30% of their recruit classes will be female candidates by the year 2030. And the reason why we're doing this is because men and women offer unique benefits to public safety. And it's the integration and balance of those two benefits that really serves our communities best. For example, we see that with more women, we see better conviction rates for sexual assault cases, right? And sexually motivated cases. We see fewer uses of excessive force when we have more women on the force. We see fewer lawsuits against the department. So it's that balance, it's the diversity.
Just like we want to strike the balance in our organization.
The partnership,
Exactly.
whether it's genders or community partners or
Right.
whatever,
Or
it's
race.
partnership.
It's that diversity of
Makes us a lot more powerful.
Yep.
Exactly.
That's great.
Yeah.
That is.
All right. So Gretchen, you've inherited, I think, with all of us, the best IT enterprise strategic plan in the country,
Yes.
by far.
Yes, it is.
And you weren't here, but I know you would have loved it, is we brought together, I think, over 40 agencies, IT and business leaders, and had several workshops around with specific questions around, where are your pain points, what is the vision for the state that you want to see, and we came up with these 4 goals. So I'm sure you've had to look at these in your onboarding.
I'll let that be memorized.
Yes. So what is your thought? I mean, you were in the consulting world and you worked with several local and state governments around the country. What do you think about our goals, and what sticks out to you as really impactful?
What sticks out to me is it strikes the right balance across all of the different things we need to be paying attention to. Our customers, who are the residents in our community, and making sure that we're providing them the information they need, when they need it, wherever they are, and in the way they need to receive it. And that really is that create a government experience that leaves no community behind. When we go to goal 2 about insight and turning data into information and knowledge and wisdom, right? It's about how do we connect that data to empower and improve the lives of our residents via the agencies that we serve. For goal 3, pursuing relevant technology, technology is typically the straightforward part, but it empowers and enables people to make the best decisions, to feel confident about them, going back to my immigration officer days, and to feel good about the job they're providing every day. And then finally, enabling strategic modernization, creating that culture of innovation, and helping people see that we need to be bold, and it's okay to make some mistakes within reason. We got to be taking risks, and building a culture of creativity and curiosity, and then supporting each other as we go through figuring out how to support the technology with the people and the teams that we have.
Well said.
Yeah, did you hit on goal 4, the best goal? Because I'm leading that one.
Best
think so.
workforce ever.
Which is the workforce
Yes.
goal.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and to add to that, our talent is our most valuable asset.
Yes, absolutely.
And making sure that our talent, especially in public service, is staying skilled and relevant. I think actually public service is one of the most exciting places to work in technology, because you get to work on a variety of different platforms.
I've always found that, yeah.
Yeah. And so, and keeping abreast of what's going on in the industry is also very exciting. It can be challenging, but it's a way for us all to see what's coming and then help make sure we're creating the future we want to live in.
Yeah. Culture is a big deal for goal 4. Talk about kind of the culture that you want to create. You are now not just the chief technology officer for the state, but you actually are the division leader for architecture and the architecture and innovation division, which is our newest division, but an exciting division. Talk about the culture you want to create within your team and at WaTech so that you can support the work of your employees in architecture and innovation.
I love it. For me, it's about a culture of teamwork and collaboration first. We're one team. It doesn't matter. I actually start most of my emails and most of my chats with folks saying, "Hi, team." For me, it doesn't really matter what environment you're in. If you're working to accomplish something, then you're a team. And high-performing teams, we know, trust each other, and they're genuine with each other, and they're sincere, and they have fairly low self-orientation. So building on the wonderful foundation that's already there for the Architecture and Innovation Division, that's what I'm going to be really making sure that our team members know that we can rely on each other and we will support each other as we're working on really hard things.
Yeah, if you look at your division, you probably have the responsibility of many of the initiatives that align with that strategic plan. So talk about your new team. You've had a chance to meet them and see what they're working on. Talk about some of the initiatives that your team is working on, how it aligns with our strategic plan, and what are your first impressions of WaTech and your team?
I am delighted to be here, and I am thrilled to be with WaTech. The initiatives, I couldn't have come in at a better time, I don't think, with one, the strategic plan launching, two, the governor's executive order around focusing on customer experience,
Fantastic.
right, in the state. And the Architecture and Innovation Division is doing a lot to be able to enable those things. We have three major projects going on right now. Our Enterprise Cloud Computing Program, where we're creating a secure, scalable, interoperable cloud environment for all of our agencies to leverage. That includes our Emerging AI program, our Emerging Technology program, which includes AI. Very exciting to see some of these use cases come out of their various departments, and use cases that are leveraging technology for vision and image recognition, right?
Yeah.
Natural language processing, translation, a variety of different use cases, even IoT sensors, monitoring the health of our fish and our eelgrass and all of our wonderful natural resources. The second major program we're working on is the Enterprise Data Program. This is very exciting, where we're providing that foundation and platform for the agencies to be able to collect, store, and analyze and make sense and draw wisdom and insights out of their data.
I am so excited about that. All the things you mentioned, but that one in particular
Data.
is so important for our state to get those insights.
And even more so because AI depends on it, as well as just the privacy or the protection of that information once we do have it. So.
Yeah, we've never had anything like that in the state at an enterprise level.
Yeah. And then part of that too is our GIS program and our open data program.
GIS, that's what we call that. GIS. Yeah, very important technology, but not valued as much as it should. So we need to really expand the use of GIS.
Powerful.
Yes.
Yeah. Location
and
data.
open data is out there for our residents to get really good information. There's some business development aspects to open data. So it's an exciting opportunity there.
The other thing I'm really excited about is our resident portal, because it's going to allow us, and in some respects force us, to create those connections across our various agencies and the systems that are collecting information on our residents, so that we can connect that and provide a personalized experience, not intrusive, but saying, if I'm eligible for this benefit, then the systems will will be able to tell based on the criteria that I'm also eligible for that benefit. And that's where we can really provide additional value to our residents, is not the single interactions, but being able to wrap all of our services that they're eligible for to help improve their lives.
And I think going back to the data, the other benefit is they enter the data once, not each time in a different format, in a different way with each agency. So it's very beneficial for our residents.
Yeah. And then I can't forget our enterprise architecture team. So enabling the state through frameworks, templates, enterprise architecture strategy, and governance. And then one of the major things we're doing there is our design review transformation.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. You won't get any complaints from our
No, I don't think so. So taking our former security design review and making sure that we're managing the risk of agencies implementing technology, but then also allowing them to attest to certain scenarios that are fairly low risk. Right? And making it a different path based on whether or not the complexity is there. So right-sizing our design reviews.
Which will help that team that has worked extraordinarily hard, and I think did over 400 security design reviews last year.
Wow.
And yet, there's just a lot of volume.
Yep.
And
a lot of questions.
And our expectation of our customers is they want it much faster. So I love the approach there. That's a great initiative. All right, so Amy, you are now our legislative affairs
I
director.
am.
Wow.
Excited to be.
Yes. So as Gretchen's coming in, maybe you could talk about your new role, which doesn't replace chief of staff, by the way. You're still
Right. It's an additional role.
Additional role, yeah.
It's other duties as assigned as
Yeah.
chief of staff.
Yeah, and how you would work with Gretchen and other members of our team to be successful in that role.
Yeah, great. Well, thank you for the opportunity. 'Cause I think it was a great move to combine both the chief of staff as well as the legislative director, legislative affairs role, given everything that we're working on in that connection between the authorizing environment and OFM and legislators. And so it's just a great connection, I think, for WaTech as well as the enterprise. I think it's fantastic. I'm relieved as well as excited to have Gretchen on board. AI and innovative technology are hot issues, and the AI task force is very active and look forward to. We already know that there are a few bills that are queuing up that will address AI in the workforce. And so look forward to having a strong partner, both within WaTech, also to support the task force, but ultimately our agencies and our residents as well. So I think we will have a very close relationship in terms of the legislative session and pushing our initiatives and those of the enterprise, and it's going to be fun. I realize we're in a budget crisis, and that is never easy or fun, but it also challenges us to really take on the hard things, and we can figure this out. And the more we partner, the better it is for all of us. So
fantastic. Okay, Gretchen, thank you so much. Welcome to WaTech again.
Thank
We're
you
very fortunate to have you. And thanks for being a guest on Coffee with Kehoe.